Can anyone please stop this fatty uncle? You don't need his advice at all. You just force a smile. This man is probably concerned for you as he let you step on his feet. Along the way up, all respective people walked out to their floor, only leaving you and Jungkook. After reaching 15th floor, Jungkook also walked out with you and stopped in front of your apartment. You were thinking twice whether to press passcode of doors in front of him or not. You just didn't want him to know it. After all, you didn't own this apartment alone. He looked at you for long. You're not going in. You looked up at him. Turn around or close your eyes first. He was stunned for the moment, but then a self-deprecating smile appeared on his lips. You're afraid that I will steal your passcode and do something. I don't even deserve to know the lock code of your house. Your lips parted, but he didn't let you make excuses. If I want to do something to you, I can do it now. He winked, making you blush. That's not what I meant. Then press it. You saw him staring at you, making you hard to breathe. Then turn around. He kept looking at you, and you two didn't seem to have any plan to go in, so he sighed. Consider it my loss. He closed his eyes with a helpless expression. You immediately pressed it and get confused when he let you go. Alright, go in. He didn't follow you. Stay in the house. Don't run around. I have something to do. I will accompany you later. Then go and do your things. I'm not child. You closed the door and walked in to put slippers, but your feet was dirty, so you directly went washroom to clean it and took short bath, then make some foods. After arranging food on the table, you sat to eat but felt loneliness. Jenny and Ravun are not here to accompany you to eat. Now, no one would told you to eat more. You miss them. You pouted and eat vegetable. It was just 2 days and you were not used to it. Suddenly, Jungkook's handsome face appeared at this time. Don't think about him, useless. You put the food aside and walked to the coffee table to draw some draft. For hours, you keep trying like you are waiting for certain someone. You peek on the phone and saw the table. It's already late night, so you didn't expect him to come anymore and went to sleep. In the morning, there is no text from the man, so you thought he would not come. But unexpectedly, he came and sent you to the company, and like yesterday, lunch was sent over again. At noon, Sky Company's manager came again and said that the company's CEO wanted to see the design and discuss about deal. You showed the price tag and they agreed easily. After signing contract, Jenny sent the middleman away and jumped in Tinny happily. You stood there thinking, actually this is another big deal and Jungkook's order is still pending. As he didn't rush for order, so you didn't complete his deal, but it didn't mean that you can slide aside. Jenny saw your expression and thought that you must be worried for new contract. Aren't you happy? We can earn the money more. If you are worried with this contract, then I will again check the details about Sky Company. You just nodded and went back to the work. As time passed, Jenny came bursting, making you surprised. Sarang, what happened? I'm sorry, it's my fault. I should investigate the Sky Company properly before signing the contract. You opened the contract to read it. It's almost time to get off the work. Sarang, the Sky Company's CEO is very familiar to you. You frowned. Time is almost off. Say it fast. John Young-han, CEO of the Sky Company, is John Jungkook's big brother. You stopped what you were doing. You felt it before now. Could someone be so easy on dealing things, but turned out other party already know about it. You said Jenny to calm down and leave first as a plan. You will deal this matter yourself later. You don't want your brother to know that you're with Jungkook. Somehow Jungkook is also careful not to jump with your brother. He don't hate your brother, but the hostility between is surely strong. After Jenny left, you also packed your things and went down to wait for Jungkook. You're thinking how to deal with this contract. Jonghan personally didn't come front to discuss about it. He knew that you would reject him if he revealed himself. You thought of various situations when you dumped into him. Jonghan had seen Rovon that day. Suddenly, a car honk almost startling you to your senses that Jungkook was already arrived and pressing on you to get in the car. You sat on the passenger seat in a daze. Seeing your low mood, he didn't bother you and drove. What happened? You didn't answer as you're thinking about the process. How many times you faced Jonghan? A male large hand holds your hand. You quickly looked at him. What's wrong? Why are you in a daze today? You shook your head. Nothing happened. Thinking about work. Is there trouble? No, you didn't have intention to tell him exact reason, so he thought of himself to search it, but then remembered that he can't investigate about you anymore, even its work. He was a little annoyed. Car drove silently. After arriving the residential area, he stopped. Don't you have a car yourself? He stopped to look at you. What? I have to use my car sometimes. He frowned. Am I not here? Didn't I say that I would not leave you? Tell me where you want to go. I will send you off. Well, free travel for you. Your nose wrinkled. It's not convenient. You can't go everywhere with him. He raised his brow. Why? Are you bothered by me? You exclaimed. It's not like that. Don't you live across from you? You can ask Lee Min Ho to drive your car over so you can use your car to pick me up in the future. You stopped after realizing you had said what you shouldn't. Forget it, do whatever you want. You got off the car and walked inside the building. His lips rose up and quickly locked the car before following you. Okay, I will ask Lee Min Ho later. You ignored him and stopped at the elevator door. Are you satisfied now? He sticked close to you. He had occupied you most of the time and space. He knew that it was despicable of him to take advantage of you. However, he could not control himself to rise selfishness in his heart to a huge extent. He only wants to close to his women, no matter what had happened between two before. He didn't want to let regret happen again because it was not easy to endure mental torture and separation for another year or day. He only want to beside you, even he have to force. He would not give chance to other men. Even you didn't accept him, there wouldn't be another man by your side. After entering the elevator, you leaned a little against the wall, but he pulled you closer to him. If you are tired, leaned into my arms. Your eyes felt heavy as you didn't refute and closed your eyes, putting head on his arm while he wrapped his hands around you. Your hands hung each side like you were fully leaned on him in this quiet small place. Recently, he had accompanied you and didn't get much time himself, so you asked him to rest on the weekend. You should get some sleep. I won't go anywhere. He hugged you and kissed your forehead. Then be obedient and stay at home if you care. You nodded as your heart tightened. After coming into the apartment, you placed your hand on your forehead where he kissed it. It's just a light kiss on forehead. You might really have been lonely for long. That's why you're like this. You shake off the thoughts and went to take bath, then make dinner. Jungkook didn't mention about having dinner with you these days, thinking how he go back and forth and restless expression of his made you guilty and you took out your phone to send message. Do you want to come over for dinner? You sent it, but thoughts creep in your mind. Wouldn't it give him illusion that you care about him? You immediately withdrew, it got removed. Knock knock. You finished cooking and wiped hands before going to check door. At this time, who would be there? You opened the door without thinking. The moment you opened the door, man's face immediately darkened. You, why are you here? You blinked. You didn't check before opening the door. What if there is danger? He just lived across you. Who would dare to come to your door? I don't think so. You were still stood by the door. Why are you here? Didn't you ask me to come? He stared at you. Me? You blinked. When did I? Suddenly he lowered his forehead to come closer. When you sent the message, I happened to see it. You froze. It had been only 10 seconds and he's able to see it. The corner of your mouth twitched. You were probably hugging your phone, right? He looked at you deeply, swallowing his saliva. In those dark orbs seems to burst out countless light. You coughed lightly and gave him way. Come in. He walked as you closed the door shut. Change your shoes first and wait on the living room. You leave him behind and went to arrange things, but man actually followed you behind. You looked up at him. Why you are following? Wait for a while in the living space. Did you need help? He thought that if he stayed at the living room, it would not be good, as it was not his intention to let his women busy by oneself in the kitchen while he stay here doing nothing. No need, it will be done quickly. You replied, but man didn't move. You gave him side glance. If you want to help, then take out bowl and chopsticks, then place it on the coffee table. Are you comfortable sitting on the floor? He nodded and take out bowls and chopsticks, then went to place it on the table. Then came to see you were putting dishes on the plate and helped to carry out. There was few dishes and salad in middle. Then you both sat down on the floor. While the small table was filled with food, you felt that eating alone was lonely, but when he sat across you, you felt embarrassed and lowered your head to eat without looking at him. Are you uncomfortable? Unfortunately, he questioned. You looked up in confusion. What? You are lowering your head while eating, almost burying yourself into your bowl. Before you could explain, he suddenly stood up and walked around the table to sit beside. You looked at him helplessly. What was that for? This way we can raise our head and eat. He picked up some vegetables and put on your bowl. You know how skinny you are, eat more. You blinked. Are you skinny? Probably not. Not like in the past, just perfect 45 kg. Just looked petite cause of height. You eat it more and the meal was delicious. After dinner, you cleaned the table as he helped to put bowls to clean on the sink. He was going to help you to clean it, but he got call. Other party seems to explaining something as he excused himself being busy and cut the call. Your movement slowed down and looked at him. Is it Lee Min-ho? Yes, he stood beside you and picked up some dirty ball to rinse. You took a side glance at him. Is it about the company? Why don't you settle it first? I don't need your help. The president of Jones Group and the tycoon of business world was washing dishes. What makes him to do this kind of things? Wouldn't he smash your ball and broke it? You slightly pushed him by your side arm. Go. You took the bowl and plate from his hand and let him wash his hand before giving him towel to dry. He was stiff, so you pushed his back towards door. His puff. Go and come back early. His heart beat when he heard it. You blinked when he stood there and turned to hold your wrists. Do you feel that? Hurry up and leave. You interrupted him and pulled your wrists from his grip, then pushed him out of the door. You didn't give him another chance and closed the door. isolating him outside. You talk too much when he's around. That's why you react this way. The man's face was almost hit by the door, but he was not mad at all. Instead, he felt a sweetness in his heart and the smile curved on his lips. Forget it, there was a long way to go. Anyway, how many times you wanted to escape? You finished work and went to fresh up before sleeping. But before that, you check out some matters that happened that day. You searched contact number of Sky Company's manager and was about to call, but thought that it was impolite to call someone at night. So you sent message instead, but who would thought that the middleman would respond you at this time actually? He called you, so you asked him to give information about CEO of Sky Company, as if you wanted to personally acknowledge about his intention. Manager sent you a number of Junghan. Actually, Junghan gave you his number back at the coffee shop, but you lost it. So after getting number by the manager, you hesitate to call him. Wouldn't man sleeping by now? You just wanted to directly ask him, but you are still not sure if you should call him or not. Unfortunately, your finger pressed on the number and you actually call him. You were surprised by yourself, but you didn't cut it. After a while, other party picked up, "Hello." A gentle voice sounded. This has been so long, you are very familiar with his gentle voice. After all, this person once protected you from death. When you heard it, you got froze and you even forget to respond. It was silent for a moment and the man suddenly sighed soft before calling various names. Wine. Your eyes widened. You called me by wrong name. It's Kim Sarang. You heard a man's long sigh, no matter even its wrong name. The important thing is that you finally contact me. He started to talk and talk about how you didn't want him to acknowledge him as your old friend. He had been waiting for long for you to contact him. You sneered coldly, so you spent so much effort just to make me take the initiative to contact you. Why do you think I am despicable? More than despicable. You suppressed the words and sat unhappily. What do you want to do? What is your goal? There is silence as he didn't expect you to think about him that useless. I want to see you. Can we meet at the coffee shop tomorrow?